Have you ever felt completely lost? Imagine walking in a dark forest. The trees are very tall. The sky is dark. You cannot see the path. Your heart beats fast. Your legs feel heavy. You do not know where to go. You feel alone. You feel afraid. Sometimes life feels like this. Sometimes life feels very dark. Sometimes we do not know what to do next. Have you ever felt this way? When you feel lost, it is hard to move forward. It is hard to smile. It is hard to hope. But even in the darkest places, there can be a small light. A small light can guide you. A small light can show the way. This story is about that light. This story is about hope. This story is about a person who feels lost, but learns to find hope. Can you imagine yourself in a dark forest? Can you feel the cold wind? Can you hear the quiet? Take a deep breath. Imagine your heart beating. Imagine your steps on the soft ground. Are you ready to meet someone who will show you hope? Are you ready to begin this journey? Remember, even the smallest light can shine in the darkness. Even the smallest hope can change a life. The forest is quiet. The trees move slowly in the wind. The shadows are long. You take one step. Then another step. You feel very small. You feel afraid. But then, you hear something. A soft sound. A bird sings. A voice whispers through the trees. It says, "Do not give up." You do not know where the voice comes from. You only feel warmth in your heart. You feel a small light inside you. Sometimes hope is like this. Hope is small. Hope is quiet. Hope is easy to miss. But if you listen carefully, you can hear it. If you pay attention, you can feel it. Can you hear the voice of hope? Can you feel the small light in your heart? This story will help you notice that light. This story will help you find hope, step by step. Even when everything feels dark, hope can guide you. Even when you feel lost, hope can show the way. Take a moment. Close your eyes in your imagination. Can you see a small light in the dark forest? Can you feel it growing slowly? This light will help the hero of our story. And it can help you, too. Are you ready to follow the light? Are you ready to see hope grow? Remember, every journey begins with a single step. Every hope begins with a small light. Now, let us meet the hero of this story. Her name is Lina. Lina is young, but life has already been very hard for her. She lost her family in an accident. She lives alone in a small house in the city. Every morning, she wakes up feeling tired and afraid. Every night, she falls asleep with tears in her eyes. Lina does not know what will happen tomorrow. She asks herself many questions. Can I be happy again? Can I find friends? Can I feel hope? These questions stay in her mind all day. Lina tries to do small things. She goes to work. She cooks her meals. She cleans her house. But everything feels difficult. She feels alone. She feels tired. She feels invisible. Sometimes she remembers happy moments from the past. But they feel far away. Sometimes she dreams of a better life. But she does not know how to reach it. Have you ever felt like Lina? Have you ever felt lost or afraid? Lina's life is not easy, but her story will show something important. Even when life is hard, hope can appear. Even when we feel alone, we can find a way forward. Can you imagine what it feels like to live alone with so many questions in your heart? Can you feel her fear? Can you feel her small hope waiting to grow? Lina's days are very difficult. She wakes up early, but she does not feel strong. She goes to work, but the work feels heavy. She talks to people, but it is hard to make friends. People are busy, and Lina feels invisible. She wants to speak, but her words feel small. She wants to smile, but her smile feels forced. At home, Lina cooks simple food. She eats quietly. She looks around her small house. Sometimes it feels empty. Sometimes it feels cold. She sits and thinks about her life. She remembers her family. She remembers happy moments, but they feel far away. She asks herself, why is life so hard? Why am I alone? Can things ever be better? These questions repeat in her mind. Every day feels the same. Every night feels long. Lina feels tired of trying. She feels tired of hoping. But deep inside, a small voice whispers, try again. Do not give up. Lina hears it sometimes. Sometimes she does not. Can you hear her questions? Can you feel her sadness? Can you feel the little voice inside her heart? This small voice is important. It is the first sign of hope. Even when life is very hard, hope can start as a whisper. Even when we feel lost, hope can appear. Can you imagine a small voice telling you, do not give up? Can you feel how it makes a little light in the dark? Lina often talks to herself. She says, I am tired. I am afraid. I cannot do this. She repeats these words in her mind. Sometimes, the words feel heavy, like stones in her heart. But deep inside, a small voice whispers, you can try. You can move forward. You can take one step. Lina does not always hear it clearly, but it is there. It is small, like a tiny flame in the dark. Can you imagine a small flame in a dark room? A tiny flame can feel weak at first. But it can grow. It can shine brighter and brighter. Lina feels the flame sometimes when she smiles for a moment. Sometimes when she takes a small step outside her house. Sometimes when she helps someone at work. The flame is hope. And hope is important. Hope is the first step to change. Lina's flame is small, but it is real. It will grow. Can you feel her small hope? Can you imagine your own small flame inside you? Even the smallest hope can give strength. Even the smallest hope can change a life. Lina is tired and scared. But her story has just begun. And that small flame in her heart will guide her on a new journey. Lina's life before hope is very hard. Every day feels the same. She wakes up, goes to work, comes home, and sits quietly. She looks at the walls of her small house. They feel empty. She looks at her small kitchen. It feels cold. She remembers her family, but they are gone. She feels sadness in her heart. She feels loneliness in her soul. Sometimes she cries quietly. Sometimes she sits and does nothing. She asks herself, why am I alone? Why does life feel so heavy? Will I ever be happy again? These questions stay in her mind all day. They repeat like a song. Lina does not talk to many people. She feels invisible at work. She feels invisible on the street. People smile, but she does not feel their warmth. She tries to speak, but her words feel small. She wants help, but she does not know how to ask. She feels trapped. She feels like a small bird in a big cage. Can you feel her loneliness? Can you imagine how heavy her heart feels? Life feels very dark for Lina. Every small problem feels huge. Every small sadness feels big. She wants to change, but she does not know how. She wants to feel hope, but she does not know where to find it. Lina often thinks about her mistakes. She remembers times when she tried something and it did not work. She feels disappointed. She feels weak. She thinks, maybe I cannot do anything right. Maybe I am not strong enough. Maybe life is too hard for me. These thoughts stay in her mind like heavy clouds. They cover the small flame of hope that sometimes shines inside her. She wants to try again, but fear stops her. She wants to speak to someone, but she worries that no one will listen. She wants to smile, but sadness fills her heart. Every day feels like a mountain she cannot climb. Every step feels heavy. She asks herself, why do I fail? Why do I feel so alone? Will I ever be happy? Lina's heart feels tired. Her mind feels full of worries. She feels small in a big world. Can you imagine how she feels? Can you feel her fear? Can you feel her sadness? Even in these dark moments, a small voice whispers inside her. It is quiet, but it says, do not give up. You can try again. Lina hears it sometimes, but she feels scared to listen. The small flame of hope is there, waiting. Waiting for her to notice it. Waiting for her to believe in it. Waiting for her to take the first small step. Lina feels very lonely. She goes to work, but she does not talk to anyone. She comes home, but there is no one to speak with. She wants a friend, but she does not know how to find one. She wants someone to listen, but she feels invisible. Every small problem seems bigger because she faces it alone. Sometimes she cries quietly in her room. Sometimes she sits on her bed and stares at the walls. She thinks about her past. She thinks about her family. She thinks about happy moments, but they feel far away. Lina asks herself, will I ever feel joy again? Will I ever find a friend? Will I ever be happy? These questions repeat in her mind. They repeat like a song. She feels trapped. She feels weak. She feels small in a big world. But deep inside, a small flame of hope exists. It is very tiny. It is quiet. It is easy to ignore. Sometimes Lina notices it. Sometimes she forgets it. Can you imagine a small flame in a dark room? Can you see how even a tiny light can make a difference? Can you feel Lina's sadness? Can you feel her loneliness? Even when life feels very hard, hope can appear. Even when we feel small, we can take a small step. Even when we feel lost, we can try to move forward. Lina's mind is full of doubts. She asks herself many questions every day. Am I strong enough? Can I be happy? Can I change my life? These questions repeat in her mind. They repeat like a quiet song. Lina feels tired of asking. She feels tired of hoping. Sometimes she wants to stop trying. Sometimes she wants to stay in her small house and never leave. She feels trapped in her own life. She feels scared of the future. She feels sad about the past. She feels alone in the present. Every small problem seems very big. Every small challenge seems impossible. But deep inside, the small flame of hope still exists. It is quiet. It is soft. It is easy to miss. Sometimes Lina notices it. Sometimes she forgets it. She does not understand it yet. She does not know that this small flame can grow. Can you imagine a small flame inside your heart? Can you feel its warmth? Even when Lina feels lost, even when she feels alone, even when she feels scared, this flame of hope is waiting. Waiting for her to see it. Waiting for her to believe in it. Waiting for her to take a small step forward. And soon, something will happen. Something small, but very important. Something that will change Lina's life. Can you imagine what it might be? Can you imagine the first step toward hope? One day, something small happens to Lina. She is walking home from work. The sky is gray. The wind is cold. She feels tired and sad. She is thinking about her problems, about her loneliness, about her fears. Suddenly, she sees a small flower on the sidewalk. The flower is growing through a crack in the concrete. It is small. It is fragile. But it is alive. Lina stops and looks at it. She feels something in her heart. She feels warmth. She feels curiosity. She thinks, if this small flower can grow here, maybe I can grow too. Maybe I can try again. Maybe life is not over. This small moment is the beginning of hope. A tiny spark can change everything. Lina does not know it yet, but her life is about to change. Can you imagine the small flower? Can you see how it grows in a difficult place? Can you feel Lina's heart when she sees it? Sometimes hope is like this flower. It is small. It is quiet. It is easy to miss. But it can give courage. It can give strength. It can guide us forward. Lina takes a deep breath. She looks at the flower again. She says softly to herself, maybe I can try. Maybe I can move forward. This is the first small step. This is the first sign of change. After seeing the small flower, Lina feels something new inside her. A tiny warmth, a tiny light. She thinks about the flower all day. At work, she smiles for the first time in a long time. She notices small things she had ignored, the sound of birds, the sunlight through the window, the laughter of children outside. These things feel small, but they feel important. Lina whispers to herself, life is not only sadness. Life can be small joys too. Can you notice small joys in your day? Can you feel them in your heart? Lina is beginning to feel hope, like a small flame that grows slowly. She does not know yet that this flame will guide her to bigger changes, but she feels the first warmth of hope. Weeks pass, and Lina's life changes slowly. She wakes up with a small smile. She talks to colleagues at work. She notices the sun, the flowers, the laughter of children. She waters plants, writes small notes, and takes walks. Life is still not perfect. Challenges appear every day. But Lina feels stronger. She feels hope. She says, I am alive. I can try. I can grow. Repetition strengthens her heart. Can you repeat with Lina? I am alive. I can try. I can grow. Lina begins to help others. She smiles at neighbors. She helps a coworker with a small task. She shares a kind word. When she sees someone smile, she feels joy. She thinks, small steps matter. Kindness matters. Hope matters. The flame inside her heart grows brighter. Can you imagine your small actions helping others? Can you feel joy when you help someone? Lina learns that hope is not only for herself, it can spread to others. Small hope can grow big. Lina's life continues to change slowly. She wakes up earlier and feels more energy. She talks to people at work with a small smile. She notices small details in her day, the sound of birds, the smell of coffee, the warmth of sunlight on her face. These small things feel important now. Lina says softly to herself, life is not only hard. Life can have small joys. I can see them. I can feel them. She repeats the words again, I can see them. I can feel them. Repetition makes her heart stronger. Can you repeat with Lina? I can see them. I can feel them. Sometimes Lina still feels afraid. Sometimes she feels lonely. But the small flame of hope inside her grows brighter. She begins to believe in herself. She begins to trust that she can handle challenges. She begins to imagine a better life. Can you feel the small flame of hope inside you? Can you imagine it growing slowly, step by step? Lina is learning an important lesson. Hope is not only about big moments. Hope is about small steps, small smiles, and small actions repeated every day. Can you imagine hope growing inside you like a small flame? Can you feel it getting stronger every day? Lina's heart feels lighter. Her mind feels calmer. Her life feels brighter. One day, Lina faces a big challenge at work. A project goes wrong, and she feels nervous. Her first thought is, I cannot do this. I will fail. But then she remembers the small flower, the kind words, the flame of hope inside her. She takes a deep breath and says softly, I can try. I can fix this. I will do my best. Step by step, she works carefully. She asks for help when needed. She learns new skills. She does not give up. Slowly, the project improves. At the end of the day, her boss says, well done, Lina. You did great work. Lina feels warmth and pride in her heart. She smiles. She says softly to herself, I did it. I can do hard things. Hope helped me. Can you feel her pride? Can you imagine feeling proud after a challenge? Lina realizes something important. Hope is not only a feeling. Hope is action. Hope is courage. Hope is believing in yourself, even when things are hard. She feels stronger, braver, and ready for the future. After her success at work, Lina walks home with a smile. The sky looks brighter. The air feels lighter. She notices the sound of birds, the laughter of children, the soft wind on her face. She says softly, I am alive. I am strong. I can try. She repeats the words again, slowly, I am alive. I am strong. I can try. Can you repeat them with Lina? At home, she cooks a warm meal and enjoys every bite. She writes a note to herself, I am proud. I can do more than I thought. She places the note on her wall where she can see it every morning. Lina feels grateful. She feels thankful for the small flower, for the kind words of the old woman, for the flame of hope inside her. She whispers, thank you. Thank you for hope. Her eyes shine with gentle tears, but they are not tears of sadness, they are tears of joy. Can you imagine feeling grateful for hope? Can you imagine feeling proud of yourself after a long struggle? Lina's heart feels lighter. Her steps feel stronger. She knows she still has challenges ahead, but she also knows she has hope. And hope is her light. Lina's changes do not stay only inside her. Other people begin to notice. At work, her colleagues see her smile. They hear her gentle words. One colleague says, Lina, you seem different. You seem stronger. You give me energy. Lina feels surprised, but also happy. She realizes that her small flame of hope is shining for others too. At the park, she smiles at a young mother with a baby. The mother smiles back and says, thank you. Your smile made my day brighter. Lina walks home and thinks, my hope is not only for me. My hope can help others too. She feels proud. She feels grateful. She says softly, hope grows when it is shared. Can you repeat that? Hope grows when it is shared. Small words. Small actions. A smile. A kind sentence. These things are simple, but they can change someone's day. Lina understands that her journey is not only about surviving. It is about growing. It is about giving. It is about shining her light so others can feel hope too. Can you imagine your own hope helping another person? Can you see how one small light can create many lights? One evening, Lina stands by her window and looks at the city lights. She remembers her past, the loneliness, the tears, the fear. She remembers the flower, the old woman's kind words, the small steps she took. She whispers, I did not give up. I found hope. She feels proud, not because her life is perfect, but because she kept moving forward. She says, hope gave me strength. Hope gave me courage. Hope gave me life. Can you repeat those words? Hope gave me strength. Hope gave me courage. Hope gave me life. Lina's heart is full of gratitude. She smiles and feels ready for the future. This story is not only about Lina. This story is also about you. Have you ever felt alone? Have you ever felt afraid? Have you ever asked yourself, can I go on? If you have, remember Lina's journey. Remember the small flower. Remember the kind words. Remember the flame of hope. Even when life feels heavy, even when everything feels dark, you can find a small light. You can take one small step. You can try again. Hope is not far away. Hope is inside you. Now, take a moment to think. What small hope can you hold on to today? Can you say a kind word to yourself? Can you smile at someone? Can you take one small step forward? Remember, hope grows when it is shared. Hope grows when we act. Say softly with me, I am alive. I can try. I can grow. Repeat it again, I am alive. I can try. I can grow. These words are simple, but they are powerful. They can guide you, just like they guided Lina. So, let us end with a strong truth. Hope is light. Hope is power. Hope is the reason we continue, even in the darkest time. Lina's story shows us that even the smallest flame can grow into a bright fire. And your story can show the same. Never forget, you are stronger than you think. You can take small steps. You can find light. You can share hope. Hold this truth in your heart, hope is always there, waiting for you.